Grace and peace for you that are listening to me. Thanks a lot for connecting so we can make this Bible study together. Today, our theme is the living sacrifice. Our main Bible verse is in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Now, what do we see here is the living sacrifice against the dead sacrifice. Well, the living sacrifice that Apostle Paul is speaking here is our bodies, is our lives, is our ways, is our day-to-day our day-to-day habits that we have, so that they can show not only other people, but it's like a flower that's coming out of the presence of God. Now, the Old Testament would say that you would have to give a dead sacrifice. Now, this dead sacrifice, it would it wouldn't like delete your sins, but it would justify your sins. And here in the New Testament, we have the living sacrifice, which is ourselves, which is the inside out. This is the habits that a Christian, he must have in his day-to-day, and naturally he will be becoming this living sacrifice. Now, the living sacrifice is doing what God what pleases him. And many times we have a moment where we pass through suffering, we pass through anxiety, we pass through problems in our families, or a health problem, or a problem at work, or it can be a problem with finances, and we see ourselves in the middle of big problems. Now, what we have an assurance of is that God, that Jesus Christ, he will not abandon you in none of these moments. So in no moment you will be by yourself. So what you can be sure of is that everyone, at some point, they will pass in their lives through difficulties. Now, when you are with Jesus, you're having this transformation that's inside of you. You becoming a living sacrifice for him, he will be able to bless you. He will be acting in your life. And you can even be in the midst of a storm, and yet you can be asleep. This we understand. You can be in the middle of a storm, in the middle of so many problems, and still have peace, tranquility of mind, and hope that things will work out. Now, you can have all of this even if you don't have Jesus, okay? Just that when you do have Jesus, what happens is the fact is you become a living sacrifice. So your attitudes are going to be against the attitudes that the world tries to input in our minds, that you have to be arrogant, that you have to be prepotent, that you have to treat other people badly, that you have to gossip, envy, that you have anger inside of you, and evilness, and all of that sort of things. So you cancel all of that, and you bring a renewal of mind, and you become a living sacrifice, where all of these things you are seeing happening, they can happen wherever they happen in your life. It can be in the areas that I mentioned before. And instead of you becoming part of that problem, you acting in a different way. Okay, now, in the beginning, you have to understand that you have to draw a limit where you are going to act and where you are not going to act. But the limit you must put a limit in the side of your anger and the side of your temper, so you will not lose inside of you the peace of spirit, so you won't lose your hopes, and also you won't lose your track of being with Jesus Christ. So the living sacrifice basically is the renewal of our minds. I hope this video has been a blessing for you. Grace and peace.